Hi, I'm Christina, and this is the Digital Organizing Training Academy for the 2020 Census. This training consists of 5 modules covering social media, SMS, SEO, digital ads, and email. These videos will give you the basics of what you need to include in your digital strategy. Think of these as a 101. Historically, the Census Bureau has undercounted people of color, urban, rural low-income households, and children at disproportionate rates. This undercount prevents these communities from having equal political representation and access to public and oftentimes private resources. The best way forward is to organize. For the first time, the census is going to be conducted online, and this is a new opportunity to have a more convenient census count. Because of the lack of resources being deployed by the Census Bureau, it's going to be important for your organization to have a census mobilization strategy. The lack of resources are just the tip of the iceberg. Additional deterrents include the citizenship question, uncertain staffing at the Bureau, the risk of cybersecurity attacks, and the current climate of fear, especially in specific communities.
If your community isn't fully counted in the 2020 census, you'll miss out on political representation and political power, school funding for things like books and lunches, jobs and healthcare centers for the next 10 years. Preparation for the 2020 census has already begun, and there are early indications of funding cuts, staffing shortages, and disorganization within the Census Bureau. The Bureau has begun its organizational build-out with 40 regional offices opening in March of 2019, and the remaining 208 opening in September of 2019. Local staff are hired this spring, and enumerators will be hired continuously from September of 2019 until Census Day. The Bureau still must hire over 500,000 temporary employees to be prepared for the census rollout. By March of 2020, census postcards will be sent out to homes, and the online form will go live ahead of Census Day. Because the Bureau's official messaging and outreach campaign won't begin until 2020, it's crucial for organizations to get involved now to prepare their hard-to-count communities for the census. Given the Bureau's organizational deficiencies, census advocates are expecting that nonprofit and community organizations will have to absorb the entirety of the Bureau's outreach responsibilities to organize their communities around the census. Several organizations have been working diligently to prepare their communities for the census, including Census Counts, the Census Project, and the Leadership Conference.
Your digital organizing program should be 4-pronged. It needs to include community building and list growth, census education, enumerator recruitment, and then your final get out the count push. These 4 pillars will all fit into a much bigger timeline. Digital organizing is going to be key throughout the entire process. So think for the next 6 to 9 months, we're calling this the building the muscle phase. This is your campaign planning. So this is when you should start building your list and determine what your approach is going to be for the latter half of 2019, all the way through Census Day. The next phase is program deployment. This is the launch, and this is when you're going to begin to engage communities around enumeration recruitment and start to deploy influencers. From December all the way to next January, you're going to optimize your program to make adjustments based off of how people are engaging. Then in January and February, you're executing your program and educating people about the importance of the census. March and April, that's go time. That's GOTC, and that's your final push. The remaining videos are available for you to watch at your leisure. You can use them as a resource at any time. But keep in mind that these are 101 trainings. If you're interested in a deeper dive into these topics, RSVP for the Census Counts Digital Organizing Summit. We've got a lot of work ahead of us, so let's get started.